I've always been an extremist. When I get into something, no matter what it is, I become obsessive. And because of this aspect of my nature, I have a hard time searching or researching laterally. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate much in contemporary occultism, but I can't stay on the surface. I have to go down, dig deep, peel away the layers. I have this need to find the source, the origins, to truly create my own paradigm. But how do you find the origins of the left-hand path? And what would that be? Well, it was probably some primordial cave dweller who told a local shaman to go fuck himself because he didn't want to bow down to the sun god or buffalo god or horned anthropomorphic deity scratched on the cave wall. He, this arrogant fuck, wanted to become as they were. But since we don't know who the original rebel was, we can only go back as far as recorded history will allow. And as stated in my video, God of the Witches, there seems to be a correlation between the left-hand path and horned deities. This doesn't mean that all who have reverence for a horn god are on the left-hand path, but many on the path seem to be drawn toward the archetype. And this brings us to the 5,000-year-old horn god called Pashupati. Now, I've made a few videos on the connection between Pashupati and Cernunnos, horn god of the Celts. What I'm going to address in this video, though, is Pashupati's later incarnation, that god called Shiva, the Supreme Lord, the most powerful deity on the left-hand path. Now, this does not mean that all who revere Shiva are on the path. But for me, Shiva is the prime example of the left-hand path deity. Why do I say this? For one, many gods of the left-hand path aren't really gods. They're angels or entities. And the ones that are gods can only go back a couple thousand years. Shiva, through Pashupati, goes almost as far back as the original Proto-Indo-European horn god. Now, Shiva is a complex deity, often represented from a right-hand path point of view as a lord of light, love, and protection. But on the left-hand path, he has a darker side. And this darker side is revered by some of the most extreme practitioners of the path. With a serpent coiled around his neck, Shiva often lurks the cremation grounds with evil spirits, ghosts, and vampires. He is also the master of thieves and villains. His destructive powers can be terrible, but they also have a positive side, and that destruction usually leads to new and better forms of existence. He destroys the universe at the end of each cycle, which then allows for a new creation. Shiva destroys in order to create, since death is the medium for rebirth. He is the ultimate adversary, adversarial to those aspects of the self that keep one from progressing upon the path. Shiva, like all other mythological beings, is to be experienced within the psyche as meaningful poetry of the subconscious. And because of my high reverence for this god, we have created the Order of Shiva. Where the sect of the horn god is boot camp, the Order of Shiva is combat. It is the work with a capital W, the praxis. It is where transformation takes place. It is where the magic is. More to come in future videos.